New trend alert, buccal fat removal. I don't know if you guys have heard of this one, but it is all over social media, although it hasn't hit my FYP yet, which is odd. But it's a viral trend. We're talking about it. And this buccal fat trend has got everybody looking like a snatched-faced supermodel, like a really attractive Skeletor, if you will. Kind of like, you know, the old duck face we used to make. Before we get started, I just want to say, I got to put it out there, a little disclaimer that I am not an expert in anything other than being a mid-40s mom entrepreneur who is a little obsessed with viral trends. I'm intrigued by them. So if you decide to hop onto any viral trends that are discussed in this show, please, please, please do your own research, or better yet, trend vet your own procedures before you go and get them done. Don't take my advice, take the advice of an actual expert before you move forward with anything in the beauty or health and wellness realm. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, I think the overall trend lately is just to have a snatched face in general. And of course, this is not everybody, but it is a trend. I mean, we're talking, lower facelifts are definitely a thing these days. It seems like all the Real Housewives ladies have gotten lower facelifts, and I gotta say, they look so good. But that snatched face, that really defined jawline. So you've got the buccal fat removal procedure, which we're gonna get into. You've got the lower facelift, and a lot of us are contouring the shit out of our faces with our makeup, thanks to the Kardashians, just for that overall snatched look, the old my Botox will not let me fully do this, but you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about it. But if you're new here, I'm Jami Rice, a mid-40s cool mom, self-described of course, who's completely intrigued by these viral trends that show up on my FYP nightly. And this is Trend Vetters, a podcast and YouTube series where I go down the research rabbit hole on all these viral trends. I'm talking trends in the beauty realm, the fitness, the health and wellness, fashion. I mean, we're going to be talking about dupes in the next episode, so get ready for that one. I love a good dupe. But I basically go down the research rabbit hole on these trends, and I will spill the tea on all of it. I'll share everything that I found out about these viral trends that everybody's so hot and bothered over. And of course, I'm going to share my own experience with these viral trends because I have dabbled in a few trends. I'm just trying to think of how many. It's been quite a few. So I'll share my own experience because I have been influenced a time or two. And this is Trend Vetters episode 2. Is buccal fat the new BBL? Okay, so celebrities like Lea Michele, Dove Cameron, and Sophie Turner have all been rumored to have had buccal fat removed. They have been rumored to have had the buccal fat removal procedure. Now, of course, I cannot confirm this, but if you look at pictures of them kind of like before and now, it seems like they may have had something done. So people are talking about it. And you might be asking yourself, what is buccal fat removal? It's essentially that fat pad on the lower part of your cheek. So you've got your cheekbone, you've got your jawline, and right in between there's a fat pad, a buccal fat pad. And essentially, buccal fat removal is a procedure to remove the fat or some of the fat in that area to give you a more snatched, high cheekbone look. That old, like I was doing earlier, like that area right there. Basically, if you look at certain celebrities who had a more round face before, and then all of a sudden you see kind of like an indent right here, right below their cheekbone, maybe they've had the buccal fat removal procedure. Okay, so Lea Michele fairly recently posted a polarizing selfie that sort of took the world by storm, or maybe it just took me by storm, but anyway, where it seemed very clear that she had had something done. Now, again, I cannot confirm this, but it's rumored that she may have had the buccal fat removal procedure, because if you look at that selfie, she really does have a super defined cheekbone now, and it seems like she had fat removed under her cheekbone. So that would lead us to believe that she may have had the buccal fat removal procedure. And everybody's talking about it. Or again, maybe it's just that I'm talking about it. And that selfie raised a lot of eyebrows, but just the eyebrows that haven't been frozen by Botox like mine. This is me raising my eyebrows. I'm literally doing it right now. Lea Michele's selfie made it somewhat clear that she had had something done. And, again, we can't confirm it, but, it's all over social media. And so essentially, if social media and Google say it's true, then maybe it's true. But here's the thing. The snatched face fairy has visited a lot of celebrities in the middle of the night. We all know that. I mean, there is not a cosmetic procedure that Hollywood doesn't fall in love with. And absolutely no shame to anybody who's had procedures done. I've had procedures done. I mean, I do Botox on the regular. I go every 3 months and get myself injected and, for my forehead, my fine lines around my eyes. Oh, and I just did Botox in my masseter muscle, which we will get to. I also did it in my upper lip. So I did what's called a lip flip. And I can't even say flip. I did the lip flip, which is achieved with Botox. I've done it twice now. I should have learned my lesson the first time, because being that I'm a podcaster, it affects the way that you talk. So when you get Botox right above your lip, which is called a lip flip, it's essentially supposed to make your upper lip look just a little more full when you smile. So for people who have kind of a really gummy smile, like a thin upper lip when they smile, then a Botox lip flip might be right for them. And I've done it a couple times because I thought it might help with like some lines that are forming on my upper lip. It didn't really help with that. And it's also just not a big enough change for me to want to do it again. But the biggest problem is that, it's worn off. I've had it for about 2.5 weeks now. So it's starting to wear off. But I literally could not say like F's or P's or anything where you have to purse your lips together. I couldn't say it normally. It also affects when I'm using mouthwash at night after I brush my teeth. The mouthwash is literally like spilling out of my mouth when I gargle it, because it relaxes the muscle or it prohibits the muscle from doing certain things. And so like me trying to put my lips together to gargle mouthwash was an issue. So anyway, that's my lip flip story. And I probably will never get it again. I think it's fine for other people, but like if you're podcasting for a living, it may not be for you. Not to be confused with lip filler. I know I'm totally going off the rails here, but lip filler is a totally different thing than a lip flip. And a lip flip, they're not filling your lips with hyaluronic acid like they are with lip filler, and your lips are not becoming more full per se like they are with lip filler. So anyway, two different things. And but back to no shame if you want to get procedures done. I get Botox. I definitely change the look of my face every day with makeup. I even have a selfie hack that I use every day that I will go sit in my car sometimes when I'm at the office and I need to do a video for social media or take a picture. I will literally go sit in my car for no other reason other than the lighting is so damn good in your car that comes through the windshield. It makes me look like my best self. So that's my little hack. I guess the point is that if something bothers you enough about your appearance, then change it. I am so for that. I have done it myself. I'm even considering other procedures for myself, which I'll keep you all posted if I go forward. I'm not somebody who's ever obsessed over my looks. However, I definitely have been bothered enough to go out and spend money to change my looks. And I do that, like I said, with Botox, with makeup. I'm also considering microneedling to deal with some skin issues, maybe an RF laser. I don't know, TBD, right? Like I'm totally down to take advantage of today's technology to lessen some of my insecurities, I should say, and to just sort of like make me look like my best self. So literally no shame if you go out and get any procedures done, because I certainly have done it. That said, I think I've learned enough about the buccal fat removal procedure to know that it's just not for me. I can see why people are doing it though, and it does make a difference. For me, that's not something I'm going to hop onto, but like I said, I have other procedures that I'm considering. So while I'm not going to be hopping onto the buccal fat removal procedure trend, there are other procedures I'm considering, so I'll keep you posted. Now, the buccal fat removal procedure is, just one of many newer trends that are just sort of taking Hollywood by storm and, regular folk just like you and me. But is the buccal fat removal procedure all that new? Spoiler alert. It's not new at all. It's actually been around for about 50 years. It's just that it only went viral fairly recently on social media. What's odd though is this trend has not hit my FYP yet, which you would think that it would, because I am a woman of a certain age who's definitely, considering procedures, and other procedures hit my FYP, but for some reason, the buccal fat removal procedure hasn't. So now, a prime example of somebody who has had buccal fat removal is Chrissy Teigen. So, Chrissy Teigen is a beautiful woman, and a really prominent feature on her face would be her rounder cheeks. She's sort of known for that, right? Her face shape is somewhat unique. And she recently admitted to having the buccal fat removal procedure. And you can see a difference. I mean, it's definitely, made a material difference to the way she looks. And so she would be who I think of if I'm kind of thinking of like the quintessential buccal fat removal subject. Now, buccal fat removal, if you're considering doing this, it's a relatively quick and painless procedure. From what I've read, it takes about 45 minutes to do. The swelling lasts for 7 to 10 days, and there's typically no scarring. I mean, that's a typical situation, right? Now, the cost of buccal fat removal is a little steep. So it can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, depending on geography. So LA people, you're fucked. But before you go and ask for the Chrissy Teigen special, there are a few things to think about before you go and get buccal fat removed. Number one, it is surgery, and so of course there are risks with any surgery. Number two, we actually need fat in our cheeks because unfortunately, as we get older, our faces become more gaunt. They sort of like sag over time because aging's a real bitch. So, you might get buccal fat removed and then you might change your mind 10 years later when your face looks more gaunt and you're like, oh shit, now I need to reverse this. I need to add fat back in. Number three, the buccal fat pad is really close to the parotid duct and the facial nerve. So removing the buccal fat pad could potentially damage these structures like hematoma, trismus, neuromotor, neuromotor, I'm gonna get this. Neuromotor deficits and infection. Wow. Oh my God. Hallelujah. Okay. So there are ways that you can avoid these potential complications and risks, right? So you could just go back to the 90s and just make that dreaded duck face in all of your selfies. The one like, that one? You did it. I did it. You did it. You could just do that in all your selfies and you could make it look like you've had buccal fat removed, but not really, which would save you about $2,000 to $5,000. Or you could just rely on all the filters that are out there, like Snapchat filters. I'm half joking because I am fully aware that we all have insecurities, myself included, that no Snapchat filter or duck face is going to solve. I mean, like I said earlier, my personal belief on procedures is that if something bothers you enough, take advantage of modern technology and totally go get it fixed. I certainly have done this, and we all have insecurities, and sometimes going and getting a procedure done is really helpful to wake up every day and love yourself a little more. But my only advice is trend vet so you don't regret. I can barely say that with a straight face, but we got to market this thing, right? So trend vet so you don't regret. Basically, do your research. Now, there's a doctor, Dr. Ira Savetsky, who is a New York City-based board-certified plastic surgeon. And he has said that there is a huge rise in people wanting to get buccal fat removed because we're all looking at ourselves in the camera. We're all taking selfies. We're all, posting content on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And so we're noticing the way we look way more than we used to. And I totally have been guilty of this. I mean, I never used to do so much social media as I do today. I do it for my businesses. So I'm on social media almost every single day. And it's definitely forced me to look at myself a lot more often. And it reminds me that I need to get a laser done and I need to go rebook that Botox appointment. Again, I don't obsess on it, but you definitely notice the imperfections or things that you hadn't noticed before, because we're all on social media these days and we're all taking selfies. So I think this makes sense that because we all are a lot more aware of the way we look on a daily basis, it's going to make us want to go out and fix things, you know? So it makes sense that buccal fat removal is so viral right now. Now, there's something else that I've seen swirling around online, and that is the controversy of celebrities and people with, you know, a big platform getting a lot of procedures done, but not disclosing it in their content. And what I mean is, I guess a prime example would be the Kardashians. It is no secret that there are so many rumors swirling around for various procedures that they are rumored to have had done, or that people believe they've had done, and they've either denied it or just been quiet about it. And I guess where the issue lies is that they have a huge platform. Their whole brand is built on beauty and the way their bodies look, the way their faces look. So, you know, younger kids, especially vulnerable people, are following them online and fangirling and looking up to them and wanting to look like them and be like them. But what they may not realize, because they're young, they're vulnerable, they're inexperienced, they don't know that the Kardashians have had all these procedures done, because the Kardashians are not really disclosing them. And so that they think that they should look like that easily with a few workouts, with a little better diet, and they can have a snatched waist and a big butt and whatever it is. But it's a false sense of for them to think that they could sort of easily look like that, or that this is what women typically look like, because I would argue that the way the Kardashians look is anything but typical. They're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but that is by no means the typical female, the typical woman. And I don't think, my personal opinion, it would be very easy to go and look like one of the Kardashians. So I guess that's where the controversy lies. And I don't know. I mean, I kind of go back and forth. I can see where it would be sort of a dangerous thing to have a huge platform that's based on the way you look, and then you don't disclose that you've had any work done, which gives younger, more vulnerable people the impression that that's what they should look like with a quick workout or, you know, a little better diet. I don't know. I go back and forth, and I just think that some people can get really down on themselves when they compare themselves to somebody like the Kardashians. Whereas, like, if the Kardashians were just screaming from the mountaintops, like, yeah, I went and got this. I did have a BBL, allegedly, or I did get lip injections, I did get this, I did get that, maybe it would help to lessen the shame that some younger, more vulnerable people, or just people in general, would feel about themselves. I don't know. Where do you guys stand on this? I don't know. It's a hot topic. I can actually really see both sides. I think I'm more leaning toward, if I'm being real, I'm leaning toward people with such a big platform. It's probably the right thing to do to disclose some of the more material procedures that they've had done. I'm not saying that every time they go get Botox, they should be like, hey, I just got Botox. But if they got a BBL, maybe just say it. I don't know. Where do you guys stand? Okay, so like I said earlier, I am definitely considering some new procedures. What I've got my eye on right now are microneedling for skin resurfacing, anti-aging type stuff, and then like RF lasers. I think they kind of do the same thing. And then recently I was considering getting Botox in my masseter muscle, which is right here. It's that big muscle that we use to chew food. So Botox in the masseter muscle, people do it for various reasons. I think the two most popular reasons are for people who grind their teeth. I've read that getting Botox in your masseter muscle helps you to not grind your teeth. But it also has an added benefit, if you think this is a benefit, of giving you a more V-shaped face. So the lower part of your face becomes more of like a V-shaped, because when you get Botox in your masseter muscle, first it makes the muscle smaller or retract. Don't quote me on this. But it gives your lower face a more V-shaped. It narrows this part of your face. So I've been curious about getting Botox in my masseter muscle. Number one, because while I don't grind my teeth, I do crack my jaw. And that is a habit I've had forever. I mean, I crack my fingers, I crack my toes, I like love to crack stuff. Although I don't crack my back and my neck. Maybe I should start. No, I'm just kidding. But I do crack my jaw. So I was thinking maybe Botox in the masseter muscle, since it helps people who grind their teeth, maybe I won't crack my jaw as much if I do it. And then I was also kind of curious how it would sort of reshape my face a little bit. What's nice about Botox in the masseter muscle, it's pretty subtle. It is not like people are going to see you and go, whoa, you've had something done. It's really, really subtle. And the other nice thing is, if you don't like that the reshaping of your face that it does, it'll just dissolve over time, right? It's not permanent. So long story short, I just got my Botox done, like I told you, about 2.5 weeks ago. I did do the lip flip, which I regret. I did do the Botox in my masseter muscle. And the only difference I have noticed is that when I try to crack my jaw, it's not nearly as easy to do. So I guess it does help in that regard. I did take a couple car selfies after I got it done, just to kind of like memorialize what my face looked like, before the Botox down in that area had settled in. And I haven't taken an updated selfie yet, but I will. It's been about 2.5 weeks. I was kind of waiting for like the 3 to 4 week mark to do it, because I think that's when the Botox will be fully settled in. But I will do that, and I'll post those pictures to see if you guys can see a difference. I'll let you know if I see a difference. So anyway, I did go forward with that Botox in the masseter muscle. Let's just see if I like it. If I do, then I'll continue doing it. And you guys will probably ask, was there pain involved? Literally getting Botox for me is like a 1 or a 2 at most on the pain level. I do think I have a high pain tolerance for various reasons, but it really is like nothing to me. And I get it, like I said, right here near my eyes. I get it in my forehead. I did the lip flip. I did the masseter muscle. I would say near the lip and the masseter muscle, I felt it a little more than my forehead and around my eyes. But again, it was like nothing. And so anyway, if you guys are curious, I think the pain of Botox wouldn't even be described as pain. It's just like a little tiny discomfort for like a split second. It just makes your eyes water and it makes me sneeze, but that's it. All right, trend vetters, are you guys hopping onto this buccal fat removal trend? I want to know, spill the tea. We are all friends here, no judgment zone. But if you're not hopping onto the buccal fat trend, are there any other procedures that you're considering? Tell me. I want to know. I've shared with you everything that I'm considering at this point, and like I said, TBD, there might be more in the future. We will see. But anyway, to close out every episode, I want to do a segment that I'm calling Show Me Your FYP. And I'll go first. I'm going to share the first 5 videos that show up in my TikTok FYP, and we'll go through them and we'll see how well the algorithm has gotten to know me. All right, so here's the first 5 videos that come up on my TikTok FYP. Here we go.
Excuse my French.
Oh, it's Spencer Pratt. Of course it's Spencer Pratt. I freaking love this guy. So Spencer Pratt, it's like a love-hate thing, right? And I think a lot of us have been on this journey with Spencer Pratt. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, he was the star or a star of that reality show called The Hills back in the day that all of us 90s kids watched. And Spencer was kind of like the villain, okay? But he made for really good TV. I kind of hated him back then. And then he went through this phase of him and his girlfriend, who became his wife, Heidi. They became Spidey. They were all over the tabloids, and they were just like so freaking thirsty for fame. And they were like so easy to hate, right? But I have come full circle with this guy, and now he is, on TikTok with his hummingbirds, and he sells his crystals. What I love about Spencer Pratt is that he's authentic. He will tell you, I'm thirsty. He will tell you that he literally purposely places himself in front of cameras whenever he can because he wants to make that money, And Heidi's just a really sweet girl. A lot of people judged her for a lot of procedures she's had done and all the typical shit that we judge women for. But when you break it down, they both seem like great parents. They seem like they're a great couple. They were cringy back in the day, but guess what? We all have cringy moments. And I don't know, Spencer Pratt is freaking hilarious. So, all right, next video. So the algorithm is 1 for 1 so far. All right, next video.
These filters. Why? What kind of rat am I? I'm just a fucking...
Okay, so it's just a random guy in his car, and like, it's like, what kind of rat are you? It's these filters on TikTok, I guess, that you can do, and you can play these little games, and it's like all these different rat pictures flashing. But I don't. the algorithm does not know me. I mean, this is just so random. I mean, I do like random shit if it makes me laugh, but this is just kind of like, why? I don't know. So I would say the algorithm is 1 for 2 so far. So we're at a 50% that it knows me. All right, let's go to the third video. Okay, so yeah, I mean these kind of videos do hit my FYP pretty often. I think because I am an entrepreneur, a business owner. And so it's like a business owner comes on and they're like, I'm going to tell you how I increased my ROI by 30%, year over year. And that's what this is. I'm getting exhausted by these videos, to be honest. Like, it's overwhelming, the advice that comes your way. Kind of like the people that come onto your FYP and they're like, I'm going to tell you how to go viral. Well, it seems like everybody knows how to go viral, right? But then like your shit doesn't go viral. So, yeah, because I'm an entrepreneur, business owner, then I would say the algorithm kind of does know me on this, but it's not that I really want this. I would rather have something funny so yeah, I would say that the algorithm is like 2.5 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. I don't know where we're at, but it kind of knows me on this one. Oh my God. Yes.
No one can tell that this tan is not real.
Most tans damage.
Okay. So, yeah, the TikTok algorithm definitely knows me on this. This is a paid ad or a sponsored ad, and it's about self-tanning cream, and you use a mitt to like rub it in. I was literally just telling my assistant, Alexis, that I have a wedding to go to tomorrow and I'm about to apply self-tanner for the first time in so freaking long. I used to be pretty pro at it, but then I kind of got like irritated with self-tanner because it's kind of a lot of maintenance. And then when it starts to fade, like you literally look like you have like leprosy or it just looks bad. And it's like so much work to put it on. Anyway, this ad definitely is catered directly at me because I'm going to be applying self-tanner tonight. I bought it on Amazon and I bought the mitt. So you guys pray for me, thoughts and prayers, because I really do not want to show up at this wedding tomorrow looking crazy. So yeah, the algorithm definitely knows me on this one. So I guess it's like, what, 3 out of 4 right now? All right, let's check out the 5th video, the 5th and final video. Okay, yes. Okay, the TikTok algorithm definitely knows me on this one. So this is a woman named Julie or Julia Murray, who is the sister of Maura Murray. Her sister Maura Murray went missing many years ago, and it's remained a huge mystery for all these years. They still have never found her. Of course, it's rumored that she may have died by homicide. But we don't know because, her car was found and there's all these mysterious things surrounding her disappearance. And so her sister, I think it's Julia, might be Julie, but she is such a strong woman and she is constantly on TikTok, and it's genius for her to do this because she's still trying to find her sister. She wants to know what happened, her and her father. And so she is all over my FYP. I follow her, I support her, and my heart breaks for what her and her father have been through, losing Maura Murray all those years ago and not knowing whatever happened. So yeah, the TikTok algorithm definitely knows me on this one because I am very interested in this case and their efforts to find out what happened to Maura. So yeah, I'd say the TikTok algorithm is like 4 for 5, maybe 3.5 for 5. All right, now I want to see what's on your FYP, you guys. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Jami on Air. That's JAMI on Air, so you can show me what's popping up on your FYP. And if you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and leave me a comment. And Trendvetters is also a podcast, so if you're into podcasts, you can just search Trendvetters in any podcast app and make sure you hit subscribe there too. Listen, we've all fallen victim to a viral spiral at one time or another, hopping onto viral trends without ever vetting them out. In life, there are trend setters and then there are trend vetters, and that's where I come in. I go down the research rabbit hole on all these viral trends. I give you the who, the why, the what, the when, the how, you name it. I spill the tea on everything there is to know about these viral trends that are popping up on all of our screens. Thanks so much for listening today, and I'll catch you on the next episode. And remember, always trend vet so you don't regret.